The next event on the day's program is one not seen before in New Zealand. A pylon air race between perennial rivals, the Russian Yak-52s and Chinese Nanchang CJ-6s. Both the Yak-52 and the Nanchang have a common ancestor in the earlier Yak-18 trainer from the late 1940s. The Yak-52 is a popular two-seat aerobatic aircraft, powered by a 360 horsepower radial engine. Often mistaken for the Nanchang, the Yak-52 can be easily distinguished by its shorter, straighter wings, its more rounded tail profile, and the partially visible retracted undercarriage. The Nanchang has a squarer tail, and the longer wings are slightly gull-shaped.
Followed by the Nanchang.
Over 2,500 Nanchangs were built by the Chinese as military trainers between 1950 and 1994. Powered by a slightly smaller 285 horsepower engine, the fully retractable undercarriage does give it a slightly better cruising speed than the Yaks. Although there's obviously intense rivalry between Yak and Nanchang owners, there's also a little bit of theatre thrown in too. In the blue and white Yak is the race coordinator, retired Royal Air Force Air Marshal Sir Kenneth Hare.
Okay, gentlemen, let's have a straight line now. Number 2, back a bit. Number 5, go back. 2, go back. And 3, you can come forward. Now hold that line. That's good. Gentlemen, you have a race.
Latchall sets the scene, and I see Ken's first around the corner, Sir Kenneth I should say, straight into the first turn, and already into the second, just as the last of the Nanchangs at the tail end. That's the syndicate-owned airplane from Nelson, brings up the rear, and he's now also going into the second turn. Last two airplanes, Steve Peterson's blue Nanchang being flown today by Jim Rankin from the RNZAF, and the final aircraft is still the Nelson-based Nanchang. So, James, that's still Sir Ken in the front.
It is indeed still Sir Ken in the front, yeah.
Okay, we should see a little bit more speed coming out of these aircraft in the downhill run. Looks like Dick's doing a bit of a challenge. That's Dick Beale in the green Nanchang.
Yeah, he's hard on Sir Ken now. So he's
picking up a bit of height though. I would have thought he would have gone a little bit lower than that. Those second two Yak-50 closing up. In fact, the whole group's closing up a little bit. Makes a very tight turn for all of them. So Ken's still hanging on to that lead. The other two Yaks have managed to get through in that corner a little bit tighter, and that's won in a lot of worthwhile points. I just can't tell the difference between the two Yaks because they're pretty much in the same colour scheme, but you've got Bill Rolfe, who was yesterday's winner in KGB, and Paul Hewen in ZAY.
Yeah, they seem to have...
between the two of them, they're holding the front spot. Let's see who turns the tightest around that corner, because that'll make all the difference between who takes the lead in the next sequence. Doesn't look as though anyone's taken advantage.
The Nanchangs at the rear of the field seem to be putting on a little bit of pressure now.
I have to say, as a Nanchang fan, I don't like to see three Yaks leading three Nanchangs. That's just not right. Very close turn. Now, those two Nanchangs at the back, I'm not sure if they actually cut the corner there or not. But
no, I think they took a very tight turn on that.
The other ones have just been a bit slow to get around the corner. That's going to win them great points. In fact, that looks like the blue Nanchang.
Seem to have taken the lead. Steve Peterson's Nanchang with Bill Rankin is... Jim Rankin is in the front.
Actually, the Nelson airplane, that's the second Nanchang camouflage with the yellow tail. That's actually now second place from having started in the rear. So he's doing pretty well. He'll be very happy with that. Those two Yaks have lost a lot of territory there. They must have gone very late round one of the turns. Two Nanchangs in the lead, both taking a little bit high. Jim Rankin in the dark blue Nanchang puts the nose down. Yep, he's coming in pretty low now. I heard Steve Peterson was up till late last night polishing his aeroplane. Definitely one of the prettiest Nanchangs in the country, the dark blue airplane based here at Omaka, being chased around the pylon by the Nelson-based aircraft. Two Yaks flying up. Looks like Sir Ken's trying to pick up a little bit of pace in the blue airplane. And he's turning early this time. He's learned his lesson very quickly, and the other two yaks are now
I think he's
losing
moving
a bit
back into third place again. Now on.
What's
Yes,
this
so
all
Ken, he
about?
would appear to have engine trouble.
Well, he's pulled out to the height.
pulled
That's a traditional thing for I'm out of the race, I've got a problem, I'll get out of the road, let everyone else pass. Ken will have to get out of the way pretty smartly because they're getting the noses down. It doesn't seem to be too serious. He's got his wheels down, just coming over the threshold now. Who's in the lead there, James?
I think.
Can't quite make out the colour.
I think it's our man from Nelson who's in the lead.
No, it's a green one.
It's the green one. It's
He was
not.
way behind before. That's Dick Beale.
That's
from
Dick
Auckland.
Beale.
We must have missed that while Ken was having his problem.
Dick Beale's the winner.